Everybody in the galaxy. Welcome back to planet Earth. It's Tape Tuesday, of course. How we doing out there? I'm doing great. Well. Today, my friends, we're gonna do it. We're gonna try it, at least. I've talked a lot about the OODLES of Noodles tape loop, similar to like a Roland Space Echo. OODLES of Noodles, my friends. We're gonna give it a shot here. I got some gear on the table. And of course, I've got a backup tape loop ready to go. Because I'm really not sure if we're going to be able to land it today with the OODLES of Noodles tape loop. But it'll be the first attempt. And if I can get a happy system for it, I just might do OODLES of Noodles tape loops every Tape Tuesday. We got JJ Huggins in the chat. How we doing? Ruby Tuesday, my man. We got Master Tiger in the chat. How we doing, Master? So, what you're hearing in the background is it's a bit of an ease mashup. I think this is, I already forgot. I got too many shows, you know? Yeah, this is the Ease 04 effects only bounce. That's kind of cool, and then that's going to blend in to Ease 01 and Electrified Rain. So let's talk about OODLES of Noodles a little bit here first. This is a Roland Space Echo, or the inside of it anyway. And that's OODLES of Noodles, don't you think? That's the tape in there, just kind of going wild and free, like a wild tiger. Here's another shot of the Roland Space Echo, and I thought it was cool because check it out, it has 5 tape heads. Wow. This is one of our friends on YouTube, I Turn Knobs. They did an OODLES of Noodles cassette tape loop, but you can see here in gray, they are using 3D printed parts. And although that's very cool, I don't have a 3D printer. I know people who have 3D printers, but they're not in the same area that I'm at. So we're gonna try the good old school 3D printing, and that's just using plastic. This is like a thick, I guess you'd call it like a placemat for a table, or like a workshop placemat. And I think it might do what we needed to do. So with the OODLES of Noodles cassette tape loop, you need some kind of guides in there so that it doesn't create a log jam like Gonzin always likes to say. Where's Gonzin? I'm not seeing Gonzin in the chat quite yet, but we'll see if Gonzin does indeed show up. We might need your help, Gonzin, with the potential log jam. We got Kenneth in the chat. How we doing, Kenneth? Hailing from Denmark. Amazing. I gotta get over and check Denmark out. I've never been to Denmark. I've been to a couple other places in Europe, but not Denmark, which would be nice because I have some family from Denmark up the line. Anyways, let's see. So we got a backup tape loop. We got some gear on the table here. One of the main things that you need is some kind of a rubber band. The guy I Turn Knobs who did this one here, I think they cut a rubber band and then super glued it together. I'm not gonna do that. I don't personally like glue very much. So I did call in the Freaky Teddy last week, and I couldn't wait. Freaky Teddy delivered some mail, and these are rubber bands, and I think I got the right size. Small boy rubber bands. So I think we're gonna try these out. You kind of need a little bit of rubber band to stick against the tape while it's feeding in I don't know. We're gonna just make an attempt here. We're gonna try to discover some things. We got Richard in the chat. How we doing, Richard? Richard's saying Richard is 1/16th Danish. I wonder what my exact fraction is. I'd think like a fourth or an eighth or something. Who knows? All right, so little bit of Tuesday magic here. Let's see. I gotta get in there. Let's grab the mic. Do a little bit of a science experiment today, if we can. Sounds like we got some support from the dolphins upstairs. That's always a good thing. So I got my usual Tape Tuesday tools here, but this will be a little bit different. So I think we should probably open up a cassette tape because that's where all this is going to go. And yeah, that's right. I think I have like 8 blocks of these. These are my new clear cassette tapes, and had to keep them all organized. It's just plastic wrapped them all together. I guess it's okay using plastic when you're dealing with things that are made of plastic. Anyways, let's grab one of these out of here. That's great. Yeah, it's a brand new blank cassette tape, and we're gonna make a Frankenstein out of you. So yeah, it's got these. This might be a nice thing too. I'm not sure if we can use that. It's just a little plastic jobber. But if it fits inside of the cassette, which it kind of looks like it does, I have a few more of these too, and we can always grab some more. But this batch of cassette tapes, it's nice because there are screws, and you do need that if you're making some tape loops. I mean, I have made a tape loop before without what do you call it? With a cassette tape that was fused together with no screws holding it together. It is possible you just kind of have to tape it back together. So get out there to your local thrift or the car boot sale and get some old cassettes. It's the least expensive way to pick up some tapes. We got Kiara in the chat, of course. How we doing, Kiara? Welcome back. It's Tuesday. It's Tape Tuesday. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit more light going on. Need a little more light in the world. We got our cassette tape dispenser. And hopefully we can just do a whole spool of tape if we get this. Well, we will try. We will try. This will be nice because then it'll be... I don't know. It won't be nice for syncing up the BPM to the tape loop. But it might be nice for ambient stuff so you can have a little bit or a lot more sound going through on the cassette tape. Check it out. Let's get rid of the slip mat. We're going to probably get rid of all of this stuff in here today. But we do want the reel. I have this extra one here. But we might not need that. So this is... we're going to take a swift left turn here. I guess it would be a left turn or a right. It's going to be a swift turn. And what I mean by that is we're doing the usual Tape Tuesday loop ritual right now, but it's going to be different today because we're going to have to put our mad scientist hat on. These little leader jobbers always give me trouble. There's a little chunk of leader on there always, and I'm tempted to just pop the pin, if you know what I mean, my friend. There's a little pin in there that holds the leader together. Maybe I can do it that way. I haven't fully figured out how this cassette tape wants to work. And all these extra bits, they bug me. Okay, so it's tiny. You probably cannot even see that. It's the tiniest little pin that goes in there. And I like to keep all the parts together if I can, but sometimes these things that go into the reels, they just fall out without tape leader to help hold them in. I was hoping this would kind of stay put. Yeah, that looks like it's going to stay today. We got Hen in the chat, of course. How we doing, Hen? Welcome back to Tape Tuesday. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm making tape loops, I take some of this splicing tape. You gotta find the edge. There we go. I wouldn't say I'm running out of splicing tape, but this was a lot bigger when I started. So cheers to 23 episodes of Tape Tuesday and all the progress that we've made during this short little time in 2025. Okay, where's that leader? So you grab the little leader, and I wonder if leader would be helpful. I'm kind of shopping around for the right gear here to make this Oodles of Noodles tape loop really work. And in the group Discord chat, Gonzin kind of had one going. I'm not sure if Gonzin was suffering from some log jams inside of the cassette tape there. I think that's one of the main problems with making an Oodles of Noodles, like a Space Echo type of cassette tape, is that the tape doesn't want to stay in here. It wants to get eaten up, and hopefully we don't damage any of my machines, but they're a tank. My machines are tanks. Well, my preferred one anyway. That's the Tascam 414. And I call it a tank, and I usually use this, what I call a tank tread style tape loop. It kind of looks like a tractor. I don't know. A tractor for making music. So let's see, we got a reel here. We have an extra one. I don't think we're gonna need the extra one, but we do have it. And I got one of those rubber bands, and I'm hopeful about these rubber bands because that seemed to be one of the big problems for the Oodles of Noodles tape loop is getting the right size of a rubber grommet or, a rubber band. Like I said earlier on the I Turn Knobs video, they were cutting the rubber band. It was a thicker one, but they were cutting it and super gluing it together, and it seemed a bit... whatever works. I would say that seems a little bit janky to me, but then again, they were using a 3D printer to print their guides, so... Where my little rubber band reel here seems very nice. What we're going to do next is probably going to seem very janky. And, like any prototyping, it might be a bit janky. So I showed you this. This is the big noodle here. It's just some plastic. And I think the goal would be to make it about the same size when we cut it as a tape reel so it can sit nicely in there. Let's give it a shot. I guess let's fire right in. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I do have an idea of what I'd like to do, and that's all that counts sometimes. So, let's see. I'm eyeballing this, and let me zoom out so you can eyeball it too. I'm gonna grab about that much. I don't want it to be too wide. And I'm gonna just cut a strip of this Long boy strip. Now I'm wondering, should I just go all the way? Can he take it all the way? It's not a factory edge or anything, so I am... it's getting thinner as we get down. That is indeed a little bit janky. Need a little bit of jankiness around, I think. It makes life fun. Now, I want to... this is kind of cool today. I feel like... Did you guys ever see the old 1989 Batman where the Joker was doing all of his straight up freakiness? And he's making a collage of, you know, some kind of a ransom note or something. I don't know. The Joker in Batman. Kind of feels like that sometimes. So the idea is to have Oodles of Noodles tape here. And I know this is a little bit... Maybe it's a bit hard to see. I hope you guys appreciate my Joker collage station here. It's kind of like that, I think. All right, let's clear it up a bit. That's a little bit easier on the eyes, I think. Okay. Now, that is a bit thick, I admit, but I'm still not sure if it's going to be too thick. I suppose we could test it by kind of spooling it up. Well, I don't know. Anyways, the idea is that there's oodles of noodles, tons of tape, and I have a feeling I'm going to be shaving these parts down. This kind of poke out a little bit, so it's not like a flat surface or anything there. But the idea is that you got a ton of tape noodles here, and they're kind of contained, and they keep each other, you know, happy. And then they spool in through here like a normal cassette tape, and it would go over the read and record head, and then it comes up here and gets fed through a bit of plastic like this. Is what I'm going to try to do. And I can see what Gonz means by the rubber being a bit sticky, so it's going to be kind of... Oh, we're going to need to use some science, but this will just be our very first attempt. And hopefully we can get a prototype going from it. So let's see. Maybe we can use the I turn knobs as a reference here. So it looks like the tape is coming up in here. And there's a wheel that hooks onto this chunk of 3D printed magic, and it goes right in between these two wheels and gets fed into, I don't know, I guess we can call this like the reservoir of tape. But I'm going to just try to cheat here and make this whole thing a loop with this plastic. So it's going to look like a bit of a teardrop, I think. Something like that. And I'll really enjoy this method if I can get this to work, because this is just like tape. It feels appropriate, and it's a lot easier to do and less expensive. I was tempted to order some of these. You can get these 3D printed files free for download on the I Turn Knobs YouTube video, but I just couldn't find... I don't know, I guess there's probably a maker's space around that would print me off a couple copies of those, but ain't nobody got time for that. You have to make time. Let's make time. Ooh, that's an interesting idea there. Yeah, once I figure out all the cassette tape related things I want to do, we'll have to start getting weird with it. Talking about theories and philosophy. We'll just change the whole channel from music production to think. We will do the think. So this, okay, I can already tell if there's too much pressure, it's gonna flip off the reel here. No pressure. All right, So, I don't want to mess this up, but let me see here. I might need to have a little bit of test tape. Let's grab some test tape here. I always talk about how I don't like to waste tape, but we need it for science, okay? It's a waste for science. I'll feed it in. These new clear cassettes have been a bit difficult with the feed-in. It's a fiddly process. And fiddly's okay, except for there's this strange type of, I don't know if it's like a type of tension that happens because it's like feather. It's feather light stuff going on. But it gets you a little bit on edge sometimes. Yep. Okay. I just want to see where this tape comes out, exactly how long it needs to be before I make any kind of cut. And the tape is extra sticky today. It is easier when it is a loop. I'm noticing this now. When you have the perfect tank tread loop length, it's a lot easier to deal with because you can kind of put tension on it. Tension is one of the tricks here. Let's see. So these tapes are a little bit fiddly, and it sounds like my Ableton is getting a little fiddly too. It's dropping out. Don't know why that is. Okay. Well, I apologize for any dropouts in the background music. It's all homespun as I'm trying to spin some tape in here. Jeez, it is sticky. It's a first attempt, of course. I hope we can succeed. At least 40%, 50%. Let's go for 80%. I don't know though. We don't want to be here all day, and what I'm doing might be a little bit of time waster here. I gotta see where the tape comes out, and assuming we're not gonna hop that pin right there. Okay, so let's see. I guess I didn't cut this to size yet. Now, I want this guide, this plastic guide, to kind of gently is the key word here, press against the tape so that the rubber band on the reel here kind of grips it and pulls it through. And it kind of looks like it's working. Let's see. Yeah, that's our first step towards an Oodles of Noodles tape loop. So it's kind of fun, you know. Of course, you can always take someone else's method and just do it, but I'm wondering always if we can refine the method and make one that works pretty good. It'd be nice to tell the world that you too can make Oodles of Noodles tape loops. Super fiddly today. Oh boy. Anyways, that's what we're going for. So let's see. If I'm not hopping the pin, there's a little bit of a plastic pin right there. And this wheel, I guess, is going to be good. Let's see. I think I'll use... I do have a vinyl cutter, though, and I might... If I can get this to work, I might just cut some of these strips out on the vinyl cutter. Make my life a little bit more precise. Anyways, I wonder, we got to be mindful of where the log jams are going to happen. And that is one of the reasons why I printed out this, because I think he did a lot of trial and error. But it looks like he's just feeding the tape out. This is a catch right here. So this whole this whole 3D printed area is just to make sure that the oodles of noodles don't get sucked back up in, because then you're doing some kind of folding reality in onto itself, and there will be consequences. So I imagine I need some kind of plastic in here to stop that from happening. This is gonna be... This might take some time, you guys. It might take a few episodes. But we can get this... We can get this prototype teardrop up here cut and put in place. There is that problem where it wants to push it out like a spring. And I can bend it, I just don't want to bend it too much. So I think I'll go right down on the... Well, no. Oh. So if we hop the pin... Maybe we will hop the pin here, because that pin might allow us to have this teardrop kind of living down in there. That's nice. That's a good idea. And maybe that's enough space there. I did put a little bit of a bend in there a bit prematurely. I guess I can go the reverse direction here. Let me just get this generally figured out, and then I'll cut it to size. But that's what I'm thinking, something like that. Okay, let's try that out. Let's keep it moving here. We can't be in the business of perfection too early, can we? Or can we? So, just some standard tape here. And I might just tape those together flat. What do you think of that? Yeah, let's try it. You got to use your best thinking cap, your best think brains here, so that you can try to nail it perfectly. We're going for a bullseye on the first try. And that'll make me very happy indeed, but who knows. Okay, so that's a direction we are heading in here. Okay. How are we doing in the chat room? I know I kind of always ignore you guys when I get into the tape making mode. Have to have a look at what you guys are talking about. Okay, so that might be a bit long. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this out. Let me take a quick break here. Check on you guys over here in the chat room. Oh, we got T in the chat. Welcome to the chat family, T. Cool name, by the way. How'd you get it? T is saying, cool camera. What is it? Yeah, it's a VHS camera. VHS-C camera. But this is my analog video freakiness. Hope you enjoy it. It's all about analog video and analog sounds. We got Claire in the chat. Good morning, Claire. How we doing? We got Kenneth in the chat saying, the thickness of audio cassette tape varies, but the thicker tapes typically used in C60 cassettes are about 16 to 18 micrometers. Yeah, that's a thickness. The thickness, the width, the thickness, the thickness. I talked about that a couple episodes ago, I think, or maybe I talked about it in my my Tascam modification video, and it got edited out. But TDK, they were very proud of themselves in, I think, the 90s, or it was maybe the late 80s. They made the SA100 or SA110, and that's for 100 minutes or 110 minutes. And that requires a super thin tape so that you can fit it all in there. Thicker tape makes me want to actually get some thicker tape. I don't know why I think that might be better, but this is probably normal size tape and gives you about maybe 90 minutes. This is from a book on tape though, so, or no, I just pulled this out of the blank cassette. They were all different sizes. It was a weird batch, which is fine because I just needed the shells. All right. We got Claire floating in the dreamscape. That's a good place to be. Richard, I've found a load of cassettes hidden in a box in the back of the cupboard at my mom's house. I was listening to them earlier. Cool. I love it. You might find some serious gold in there. That's why I highly stress, don't just blitz the tapes. When you find old tapes, especially old ones even at thrift shop, it's not your stuff, but it might be humanity's stuff. Hopefully you don't find anything weird in a bad way, but there are a lot of cool, weird things stored on VHS tapes and cassette tapes that are just waiting for someone like ya to find them. Gonzin. Well, I guess we're missing Gonzin today. Oh, well. We love you, Gonzin. Maybe Gonzin will tune in here in a bit. I need, because Gonzin was the first one the first person I know who attempted the Oodles of Noodles tape loop. I'm not sure if Draco did. We're missing Draco in the chat today too. Come on, family. Anyways, I know people have lives and stuff. Okay. I have 9. No, I'm just kidding. That's Master Tiger that has 9 lives, right, Master? So, okay, I think I'm all caught up on the chat. Let's get back to work. We're trying out the Oodles of Noodles tape loop today. Because we've done a lot of normal, what I call normal style tape loops. It's like a tank tread in my brain. So this is my first step here, and I gotta kind of hold that reel in place and put that plastic down, and I can already tell this is gonna be a bit springy, which is kind of good. We want a little bit of that tension there so that the tape rolls, but I can see the tape is sticking to the rubber band. Not sure what would kind of alleviate that at all. I suppose I don't want to... my brain went immediately to like a silicone spray lubricant, but we do not want that stuff in our tape machine. And that's, I guess, is that static? That's static electricity. Yeah, I can tell this is going to be, it's going to be a process. But we got to start it. We got to start somewhere. So, okay, that is for sure too thick because I'm riding up on there's some of these plastic layers here. I wonder if maybe this, is that? Oh man, this is... The problem is that's not going to hold itself in place. I can feel it's already too thick. Let's test out the thickness here, and we're going to lose a lot of screws, I think, today. So let's just go for it. Let's make a mess. Such a pretty mess. I'm making such a pretty mess on my desk. Ooh, yeah. So let's test the thickness. Actually, that fits. I can't believe that. Huh. Does it? Yeah, that fits. I'm shocked. Great. That's cool. So, right. That will fit. That's good news. And I'm wondering a lot of things, but that is stuck. And I guess we're going to probably be creating... That's going to... it's very stuck. Maybe that's good. We are using the rubber band on this reel here. We have a really small rubber band. Chances are that's going to create a lot of static, though. And that might be way too much pressure. So I guess we can kind of fold this in. I was hesitating on doing that a bit, but okay, look at that. Look at that. Not too much spring. Oh, now that might handle. This is, oh gosh. This is nuts, you guys. It's just nuts. Okay, so I put some tape in, and we decided to hop the pin because that spring number 1. All right, so the tape is going in. It's going to come through like that. Oh. Maybe we should make a new show called Fiddly Friday. I got Feedback Friday, and I need to do one of those, honestly. Yeah, so that is going to be a problem. I can see already the spring is kind of looks like a fish, and it's sliding out just like a fish would do. So we're going to have to secure that in place somehow. And I think since it's Tape Tuesday, we're going to use tape for that. I prefer tape to glue. I guess glue, you have to be committed, and with tape, you can change your mind later. I don't know how I'm going to exactly do this, though. I wonder if I can just, let's see about this. If I put the tape like that on the end, okay. And there's a little extra here on this side. And I put it down there. Then fold over the tape. Ooh, that might not be a happy tape jobberoonie there. It might be a bit too tight. It's kind of pulling it out, but I feel like I'm going to be verifying that these things fit quite a lot. Yeah, it's going a bit crazy. For some reason it's kind of what I was thinking. The tape is getting a bit in the way, but that's looking pretty good, I think. And when we screw it back together, it'll tighten everything up. And then the tape is coming out, so I don't know if I'm hoping you guys are seeing. We got T in the chat saying, cool camera. I hope it's not too cool for school here. We got to actually be seeing what we're doing. That might be okay. I don't know. It's not like OCD proof here, but it might be good that it is tending to want to kind of flip out that way and not the other way. But that should secure it in place. Now we got that. So that's one important step. This might be the most important step, honestly. The real tricky part is going to be getting the tape in there, but we can have all of our excess tape just kind of noodling down, and then it should theoretically, if we get this working correctly, once you start spinning it up, it should suck the tape up in there, and then we'll have our little janky, dodgy Roland DIY Space Echo situation happening in here. Although we won't have 5 tape heads to run that Echo with. But I do have the Sony, I have a Sony 3-head tape machine, which we'll probably pull out as soon as we get a slightly working version of this. And it's still debatable at this point whether we're going to see that today or not. All right, so next thing's next. We need a guard now to keep the tape from oodling its noodle all the way back in. I don't know what to call any of these things. This would be, I guess, the rubber reel driver. So the next thing, we need a little bit of a safety catch there. And the one guy, let's refer back to this. This is the I turn knobs version. So it looks like they're trying to utilize as much space in the cassette as possible, and it looks like a lot, at least in this snapshot, a lot of the tape is ending up down in here. And that's kind of sketchy because you have the rubber wheel is turning this way, and you just have this little 3D printed part here that is stopping the spool of tape from just getting sucked right back up in there and creating a new dimension, which we don't want to do. Not really. No, we don't. We are working on one big, happy new dimension. And it doesn't have to do with tape. I think that something like this would be nice. And I feel like, oh, is the tape going to go down below this line? Yeah, I think it will. So that's a consideration. I wonder if I can use... I'm trying to use as much of the tape shell as I can. But it doesn't look like it's going to fit in between that pin. That might not be a gap. It is a gap. This is just a bit too thick for it. That's a pin you might be able to use for a freaky loop. Come on, if you would just fit in there. Oh, it's too thick. So, I wonder if I can just make a little bit of a catch. I don't care about the tape being able to go up under here. That kind of scares me, actually. I'm totally fine with this rubber wheel actually being completely shielded. I might consider doing that, actually. I wonder if I can make another giant teardrop on the fire. I mean, teardrop in the cassette tape that goes up here like this. Does that make sense? And so as the tape comes out, it's immediately guided by... Huh. You kind of want it to be able to come out and do its freedom jobber here. But if I could just combine this whole area just to really limit any possibility of the tape coming back through to the rubber band reel, that might be a good place to start, is something like that. And then the tape won't probably ever go around the reel again. And that might set us up for success, which is what we're looking for. I don't think I can do that with like another teardrop shape. I might have to just get some kind of... okay, we're going to try this out here. And I'm thinking I need a lot of tape for that. And I'm going to... This is going to get a bit weird here. I need to tape that down. Let's flip it. I'm just gonna just tape it like so. And try not to tape it to itself. Whoa. This is all highly experimental. Right. Okay, so let me see here. I hope you guys are having fun. I know this is definitely niche. This is definitely experimental. A little bit freaky. Okay, so that'll be good if I can just land it right there. Okay, I'm taping it down, and I think I may have overdone it there a little bit. Yeah, we didn't quite land it where we needed to, but it's not sitting flat at all either. I need a better way to prototype in cassette tape land. How do I get this to stand up straight? That's the real question. Yikes. Okay. That is janky. I fully expected that too. The jankiness ensues. I'm just gonna tape tons of this. Let's see. Love this weird music I've been making for you guys. What you're hearing in the background right now is Ease, episode 4. It's the effects only bounce. Try to mix it up for you. You'd like to check out some of my Ease shows. Doing live tape looping. I gotta get another one on the schedule here. I know you guys love the Ease show. Okay. Maybe that'll work. Oh gosh, it's so far away from where it needed to be. Oh no, I feel like I'm gonna have to redo that bit. But if the tape can just go out there and not, that's almost inviting it to just be completely. Oh gosh, that's not gonna work. So let's do a quick total recall retry here. There's been a recall on aisle 2. Oh no, I've gone and made a mess again. Such a pretty mess on my desk. Oh yeah. Jeez, what a joke. Okay. We're gonna try that again. I think I got the right idea though, and I can't get that tape off, so we'll leave it. Just trim it down a bit. Oh man, I hope you're having oodles of fun with me here today. I've been meaning to get this type of a tape loop figured out here for quite some time. Alright, so this needs to be closer, way closer to the rubber reel. And if it can go, I don't mind if it just goes straight. I don't care for this first prototype at all, but it would be nice to utilize some of these parts. Maybe that's the way to do it. That's not too bad. Oh, yeah. Let's see. It is gonna... doesn't like being there though. So something like this is what I'm going for. Okay, so it's gonna be like that, and maybe it will hold itself in place. Let's try the tape again. I'll take this janky tapey side and put it out of the way here. And it might be a good idea to come up a bit further here with the tape and just secure it exactly where we'd like it to be. Although it's kind of sketchy because I'm folding it over and then it wants to stick to itself. But maybe if I just do one side at a time, let's see if I can measure it out a little bit better. All right. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. And I may have got it there, although it's a bit too high up. So let's move it down a little bit. Yikes, this is quite the process. I knew it would be, and then, you know, after 23 episodes of Tape Tuesday, we gotta have a little bit of something different. Okay, now that's right on the wheel there. And if I can tape the other side down without affecting anything too much, I don't know. There's a lot of strange variables at play here. Yeah, that's adding a little bit of... Ooh, that's tight. It's... Well, what is it? It's... sticky. I guess the rubber band is grippy. But, and that also is inviting the tape to just come right back through if it does get stuck. I might have to cut a little bit of that right here so I can fold it. I don't know. I want to figure out the most happy way to do this. It's going to take some time, I feel. All right, if I can just get a little bit of play on that. There we go. It didn't help much. I think we're still a bit close on there. Now I'm wondering... It almost seems like I need a guide up here to force the tape to come up there and don't even give it the chance to get sucked back through. That might be the thing to do, but we might have to revisit it. I don't know, you guys. Now, let's have another look at the iTurn Knobs version. They've got a 3D printed part that goes in like that, and I guess it just forces it to only take in one tape at a time, if that makes sense. Because if you have your spools going down in there, I guess they could get you can fold space and time. Oh, let's take a little chat break here. How we doing in the chat room? We got a couple of new, unusual suspects in the chat. We got Audio Freaker. This is cool. Let's read what Audio Freaker's saying. Well, judging by my name, you can probably guess how the algo put me here. Thank you, Algo! Algar? Garth Algar. The algorithm. Yeah, Audio Freaker. Guess what Audio Freaker was doing today? Well, let me guess. You were working on freaky cassette tape loops, my friend? I hope so. Audio Freaker, getting some 90s era music software and plugins running. Don't know why, the urge to mess with some simpler interfaces struck me. Yeah, what are you talking about? Like Rebirth or older stuff, like Octamed? Or just a very old version of Cubase or something? Interested to know. Audio Freaker. I feel like the algorithm actually brought you here because I might be the one that says freak and freaky and the freakiness more than anyone else on the planet. There might be a few, and you know who you are, who say that word more than me. But you definitely do belong here. The Freaker. Not to be confused with the Freaky Teddy, which you haven't seen yet. There's the Freaky. Freaky Teddy usually brings me in my mail, but I couldn't wait this week. So I opened up the mail already. And if you're just joining us, yeah, it was a little box. Little tiny box. It's a Freaky Teddy sized box of rubber bands in here. And the rubber bands fit nicely around the cassette tape reel for our Oodles of Noodles tape loop, which I think is coming along nicely. You know, if you're learning, then you're making progress, I guess. Okay. We got Richard in the chat saying, my taste in tech, as such as it is, never made it out of the 90s anyway. Yeah, I feel you guys are my family here. We're talking about that. Like, you got to say your prayers to the gods of the analog freakiness. Right, Freaker? We got Freaker in the chat again saying, an obscure Japanese DAW called Saw 2, in fact, is my retro computer platform of choice. Saw 2. Soul 2. Not Saw. Okay, Soul 2. I like that. We got Richard in the chat asking where Freaky Teddy is. I see you, Freaky. That is one Freaky Teddy. Sure is cute, though. If we get enough votes, I'll bring out the Freaky. I feel bad. I guess I did send a picture of the Freaky bringing in the mail on the Electric Archaic Discord. If you'd like an invite for that, let me know. I'll post one at the end of the show. Okay, let's get back to business here. All is well in the chat now that we have an actual audio freak. Audio Freaker. I'm just going to call you Freaker. Yeah, the 90s peaked. I agree with you. I think, well, here's my take on it. The 80s, I believe, was the peak of humanity, and the 90s was hang time. And then it all just started doing something a bit different after that. But, you know, we can always bring back the greatest of vibes. And, you know, I think that's what my job is here. I'm trying to tell you guys that cassette tape is better than a VST on your computer that has a little cassette tape graphic in there. Is just doing digital, whatever, you know. You got to get into the real world here and struggle with the atoms. It's on the atomic level, you guys. Anyways, okay, let's get it going. If you're having fun here today, give me a like and subscribe. I sure appreciate it. Ooh, all right, excuse me there. Let's get back to this Oodles of Noodles. I would call this prototype number 1, but I think this is like a pre-prototype, if that's such a thing. We might have to just move on. I got these 2 bits taped in place there, and I'm anxious to find out how it'll work. We don't want a log jam. That's what Gonzin calls it. And we are still missing Gonzin today, are we? Makes me a little bit sad. But Gonzin has been up all night in the group Discord chat, posting all sorts of amazing stuff. So I ran out. Did I run out of this stuff? I did on that one. We got to cut some more. So this is like a thick, like a workshop or a kitchen placemat. It's a placemat, and it's just like a thick plastic that you can bend and make loops with and stuff. Not tape loops, but it's hopefully going to help us make tape loops. And I'll cut a slice of it. I'm trying to match the width of a cassette tape. Handmade. So we need one more kind of a guard here, and I'm wondering... Oh, I'm actually wondering if this could be one piece. One big happy smiley face. It'll be like the Cyclops, because you got one eye looking at you right there and a big smile. It's a little bit freaky. That's a little bit crazy. It's crazy. I think we could do that, actually. And then we force the tape to go down in here. Ooh, maybe should we change course? Let's change course a little bit. I'm sorry, guys, but it happens when you're prototyping, and I'm just making a giant mess here. Got all this. That's the thing about tape and glue. I prefer tape to glue, but it's still messy when you need to reverse course a bit. Yeah, that's gross. Okay, not too bad, but... And of course I got my little tape scrap bug. It's a bug usually. What was it? Last week I made a mustache out of that. That was seriously silly. Okay, I'm just trying to get some of that sticky residue off of here. That would be amazing, you guys, if I could just nail this with 2 pieces and let the oodles of noodles reign supreme. I want to see it. I want to hear it. Okay, and we might even be able to tighten up our whole situation there. Force the tape. Look at that. Gosh, that might be the perfect length. Hey. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. I don't have any good way to hold that in place other than just doing that. Oh, there it goes. It's all. We all fall down. The freaky Teddy. Yeah, audio freaker. You do belong here, my friend. We're all about the freakiness. Audio freaker. I'd like to hear some of your music that you're making. We'll have to get you an invite to the group Discord so you can post some of your music for us. We want to hear it. Yes, we do. I got a little bit of swarf going on here. The swarf is a thing lately. It's a thing. That has got a bit of a kind of a crazy. Just trim that up a little bit better. I will have swarf land happening here. I don't like it, but I try to keep my workstation clean so that none of these scraps get into my machines because, of course, it's moving parts. All right, so let's figure this out once again. It's a little. If you nail it, though, that's the thing. You spend a little bit of time planning. What do they say? Measure twice, cut once. Well, in this case, it'd be think twice, tape once. This would be the second time I'm thinking about this part right here. I want it to land just like that. Oh, it would be so great. Okay, so if I can... We're going to have to maybe use a bit of spring technology here. And I know not to tape up too high on this part. Okay, and I also know not to tape both sides at the same time. So we're learning. We are evolving. Now let's measure this up. I would like it to land just right on the edge there so the tape coming out just goes woof and doesn't get stuck or anything. Let's see. Okay, if I just hold that in place where it's going to be and then just guide this up like that. Oh. It might be perfect. Let's try for perfection if we can. Now that, it's not perfect. Okay, so we can redo it. I want the angle to be just right so that it doesn't invite the tape back in. The tape does not belong in this section here. No, sorry, it doesn't. And then, now that's... Okay, we're going to have to revise the angle of approach again because I want some more space for those oodles, which will be noodles of tape. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now that I have that in place, I can get the reel out of there. I hope you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I know it's a bit moody and shady and freaky, but this is how it's going to happen here on my channel. It's going to be VHS every time. Most of the time, it's VHS every time. I did do that one time lapse for my 303, though. The switch replacement that was not VHS, and then it was weird because the second one I did also wasn't VHS, but something in my signal chain just wanted to make it all freaky, and it ended up being all kind of glitched out psychedelic, which was fitting, but I don't understand why it happened. All right, so this might be it right here. Now I got to tape down. This part, unless I can just fit it together. Do you think we should just try to put the tape in there now? I feel like that might be a bit early, but it might actually just be the right time for that. I'm just wondering if I need to tape that down or not, because once I put the shell on there, it will be kind of springing itself into place. I don't know. I might just do it. I think it's tape time. Wow. I'll be so ridiculously happy if we can get this to work. Now, okay, if we can, let's assume that the tape will be good to go. Let's try to make sure this isn't mangled. This is fresh. And might as well cut a nice fresh... I'm not going to use the splicing block today, I don't think. I just want to get this working if I can. Okay, that is not perpendicular. That's why I should use the splicing block, actually. I don't want to say I'm assuming that there will be a log jam here, but I'm not going to worry about the splice too much because there might be some some jamming that's happening. Okay, I'm pulling out a healthy amount. I don't know how much tape we need here, but that's a lot of tape for a loop. Okay, and then you got to remember which is the reading and writing side. So it would be, it's the way it curls, you can tell most of the time. So it's curling that way. Anyways, let's try it like this. I'll be so bummed if this works and then I have the tape flipped the wrong way. Let's do our verification just one more time here. Make sure you got the top side. Maybe I'll just cut this free from the tape dispenser. Looks like the tape went back in to the machine. Oh no. Welcome my tape to the machine. Okay, so it's curling. You got to use the curl. It wants to... I think we need a catchphrase for that. Continue the curl. Don't go against the curl. Oh, I lost it. And it is cooling down, the weather, I mean, so it's not like I'm losing it like I was. You guys remember, right? Earlier in the summer, it's like, wow, it was so hot that my brains turned to McLean, and then I started to lose it a little bit. Okay, this is it. I'm trying to verify the curl. Tape is so fiddly when it's not in a loop already. Okay, so we're hopping that one pin, and might need to be taped. I don't know if I can manage all of that without taping it. Okay, so that'll be where the tape comes through. Oh wow, this is actually less difficult than I was anticipating it to be, but we will see, because I only got 2 hands, man. This really does make me wish I had 3 hands, man. If you could just stay. Oh, what can I put on you? I'm gonna use a little bit of weight to keep that in place. All right. Ooh, I'm getting excited. I'm getting so excited for Oodles of Noodles tape. If you haven't already, please say your prayer to the gods of the analog freakiness. We might need some assistance. Help, assistance. That's a chunk of cassette tape there. I'll put that on the tape bug. Okay, so really what I need to do is just make sure that it's coming out of the right place. We're hopping that one pin, and then I'm going to feed it through there. There's some nerdy stuff going down. Come on, you can do it. These tapes are not, I don't know why, they're so much more difficult than the other ones. I think I have the tape routed correctly, and then we have all of this extra here, which would become the oodles, of course. Yeah, all right, so let's do some more careful business. Where are those tweezers? Here they are. Let's grab them twizzles and get these extra bits back in. The long-awaited first attempt is upon us, my friends. My freaky analog music friends. Okay. Ooh, it's going pretty good. It's going smooth. Now, I don't want to Mobius it. I keep talking about opening up another dimension, and that is probably one way to do it, I think. But I want to make a splice now. It's a lot of tape. I hope I didn't, overload this whole situation by having too much tape here. All this tape is going to be oodling around in there happily. Let's say happily. Okay. And I'm really trying to avoid the Mobius, but I think I can see it here. Gonna go with the curve, and those are the 2 ends. Oh boy. Okay, time for some splicing tape, and I have no idea how much to use. I feel like I'm going to use more of a healthy amount here just to ensure that maybe it doesn't blow up on us. It'd be nice to have it work. Maybe more tape will make it blow up. There's no way to tell unless you just try it out. And you got to tape on the inside of the tape loop. Okay, I'll do one side first. This is janky. I missed the splicing block, and I suppose I could use it. I definitely could use it, and now I'm really getting scared of Mobius territory, and... Whew! It's a lot of pressure. I have it taped. I have some splicing tape here. Okay, that is coming out normal with no Mobius. We're going to have to just have some faith here that this is going to be the right way. And the splice might be kind of a gross, hefty splice, because I'm just trying to see if this will work. I don't know. Maybe we should be using the splicing block. And of course the tape kind of came off the edge. That would be the one reason to not overuse splicing tape in this situation. Try to trim that off there. Whoa. Trimmed off a lot. Okay. Hopefully the splice sounds good, because it's going to have one. Oh, right. Ay, ay, ay. So, all this mess, I'm praying there's no Mobius. I can't guarantee that. Honestly, I'm gonna just pull this out and see if it's kind of ready to go. I'm gonna try to verify that there's not a Mobius here. Now, a Mobius loop this would be a normal tape loop, and a Mobius would have like a twist in it like that. And I don't even want to know what happens if you do that to a tape loop. We'll try it someday, but just for a joke, really. Okay, so the tape. Let's see here. Okay, that is where the tape needs to be. Great. Now, if I can verify about that Mobius, that'd be good. Oh, it's so sticky. Okay. Makes me think about that old artist who went by Mobius. Some of the coolest sci-fi art around, especially for some of us kids, some of us 90s kids. I'm having a hard time dealing with this tape because it's so light and sticky, and it keeps falling out. And you got to trust the process. Oh boy, we'll be careful with that. We don't want to start over. I'm wondering if this will help me, if I can kind of use something to help guide my verification process here. I don't know, you guys. It's just way too fiddly. I'm going to have to assume that it's not Mobius, and we're going to have to put this together and move on with our lives. There's another scrap of cassette tape there. Let's stick that onto our tape bug. That's a tape bug. That's what I'm calling it. Okay, so let's see. Let's move the light a little bit closer. And I gotta kind of keep hands on this a bit so it doesn't flong out. Wow, it goes right to the edge, doesn't it? I wonder if I should trim that down at all. Yeah, that does go. It pinches though. Maybe that'll be a good thing. I don't know. Okay, let's do the scary. Let's try to get it back together here without it all coming apart. Something is not happy in there, I'm noticing. I'll pull Okay. Oh, I may have it together. Oh, we don't want to pinch it. A little bit of a pinch. Okay. That is a prototype. Let me zoom you in here really quick. And we got Gonzin in the chat. Welcome back, Gonzin. Where you been? Anyways, I hope you're proud of me, Gonzin. I'm trying my best to get the Oodles of Noodles tape loop to happen here, and I'm not sure when you joined us, but we're at kind of a late stage in the game. We're about ready to find out. We're about ready to listen for the splice, which is becoming an ever-present joke around here. This is going to be a hefty splice. I know it. And hopefully it's not overlapping too much to where it just pulls itself undone, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is the art of prototyping. Yeah, I got to give Gonzin some credit, because we've all been talking about the Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loop for quite some time on my channel, but Gonzin went for it. Gonzin's got, I think, a handful of prototypes of the Oodles of Noodles cassette tape. Look at that. And that is... it's something. I like to say that... I hopefully like to say that it's a happy Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loop. But look, it's working, kind of. Is it? I don't know why it got... Oh, yeah. That's logjam territory right there. However will I avoid the logjam? Well, this is fun. This might just be exactly how far we get today, is winding up. Yeah, that's sucked in onto itself. Okay, yeah, that's logjam territory. I think that's the problem that Gonzin was having, is that the tape is sticking. It's just sticking. I wonder if it would help if... because there's so much slack, there's nothing pulling on it. So if it's like a 1-to-1 pulling and feeding ratio, I might be happier, but I don't even know what's happening anymore. Okay, so the tape it's oodling of noodling in the wrong place. Can you guys see what's happening here? This is nuts. So maybe I'll turn off the light and go more ambient with it real quick. Yeah, it doesn't really show you anything. Let's get back to the light. We gotta get back to the light. This is... oh gosh, I had a feeling. I had high hopes, but I also just know that it's hard to nail something on the first jam, you know? On the first log jam. It seems to be doing okay again now, although I may have gone for more tape than we can handle here. Have no fear, I could pull out the splicing block and just make a new splice. Maybe I should do that. Oh boy, that is nuts, and I'm scared. It's doing it, you guys. I'm so happy. Look at that. Now we can finally verify for Mobius, and this would be our final chance to make a new splice, because I do have the splice right there. That's the splice. We're almost there, so let's maybe continue on. Okay. If that's not a Mobius, I will be impressed, but it's looking pretty Mobius-ish. Where's that thing I was trying to use earlier? Okay. Let's see here. That might be like triple Mobius. It's either triple Mobius or just right. Just fine. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I think it was just fine. We need you to cooperate. I don't know about that, actually. Okay, if you're going like... Yeah, that's got to be a Mobius, right? Oh, Mobius, man. That's definitely doing Mobius magic there. Or no. What? I am so confused. Yeah, I think it's doing like a normal Mobius would be a backside to front side, and then a double, I guess, is I think what I'm doing here. So let's see how easy this even pulls out. It is pulling. I wonder if the capstan is going to be able to handle that. Let's not push it. Let's pull some slack out of here and cut a new splice. We may have some limited success here for a limited amount of time. I don't know exactly how I would run that on the splicing block. It would be nice to do that, and I imagine we will be doing that once we figure out this prototype. But today let's just be lazy and make the cut. Just make a nice cut right here. So many Mobii. Mobii. Is that how you say it? The plural of Mobius? Mobius. Okay, I'm going to twist that a bit. And let's give some... I just don't want to cut into the old splice. Old splice. That's great. If I ever create a... Old Splice. That'll be my cassette tape splicing company name there. Oh, good old Splice. Okay, we're not caring about the perfection of the splice. I still don't know how much tape is going to be, splicing tape is going to be appropriate for this, but maybe I'll go a little shorter than the last round. For why? For yeah, I don't for no. And make sure to tape on the inside. The inner side is where it gets all held together. Okay, that's one part. One part. Okay, now this. Oh my gosh. I expect a full-on celebration if this works, you guys. And I don't know what that looks like in the chat room, but probably just like a lot of heart emojis and a lot of VHS tape emojis because they don't have a cassette. Why don't they have a cassette tape emoji? That kind of seems a little bit sad to have the VHS. I mean, I like VHS tape, but you can do cooler stuff with cassette tape, to be honest with you. Unless you consider what I'm doing here with VHS cameras. You know, I'm not using any VHS tape. I have been tempted to tape my live streams, though, to VHS tape. That might be something I do in the future. And we'll auction them off, because why not? I'm struggling with the splice a little bit. I suppose I could go vertical here. That might help a little bit. And I don't want to Mobius this, although this is going to be a lot easier to not Mobius. Yeah, okay, that's the way to do it. Go vertical with it. This is definitely the wildest tape loop I've ever made. I can say that with confidence. Okay, let's have a happy splice. Happy-ish. It's not really good. It's not good at all, actually. I just hope it's not so bad that it gives us a log jam. In the Oodles of Noodles tape. Look at that. Okay, this will be the last teardrop on the fire for me, I think. I don't want to have any tears from this point forward. Okay, I'm just being careful because we did have some log jams happening earlier. Okay. Oh, Gonzin! Where are you, Gonzin? Where are you, Master Tiger? Where are you, Hen? Where are you, Draco? Where are all my chat family? The Freaker. We got Claire. We got Kiara. We got JJ. Who else do we got? I am very happy with that, I will admit. And we'll do the real test here and find out if it just blows up. And hopefully it doesn't hurt my machine, but as I've said before, the Tascam 414 is a bit of a tank. So I think that if one thing's going to be doing the hurting, it's probably going to be the Tascam that's doing the hurting. All right, let's take a little bit of a break here. Let me tell you what we've got going on in the background. We are into Ease, episode 1. That's playing in the background. You want to check out the Ease show. That's Electric Archaic Soundscape Expeditions. That's my live tape looping show. Give me a like and subscribe if you've had some fun here today. And mainly to make sure that you catch the next Ease show. I don't have it on the schedule yet, but it should be coming up sometime soon. I don't know. Maybe we can think about doing one. I do this every week. I try to tease you guys that I'm going to do an Ease show tomorrow, but then it's just another Tape Tuesday in a week. Okay, so let me catch up on the chat room here. We do have Gonzin back in the chat. Let's see. When did you make your entrance, Gonzin? Evening all. Good evening to you, Gonzin. Yeah. Hey, no worries. You know, you show up when you can. If you can, call me if you can. We got Gonzin asking earlier, are talking elastic bands tonight? I did use the small rubber bands on the reel, and you guys, I don't know why I'm messing around in the chat room here. I just want to catch up on what you guys have said here really quick, but we got to test that out. I think that's promising. I think that's a promising, slightly dodgy Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loop. I'm glad I didn't spend any money sending those parts to 3D printer, because you can always improve on other people's designs. Just because someone else designed something doesn't mean that you can't do it yourself. That's exciting. I don't know, should we? It kind of needs to have the capstan going, but look, it's feeding. It is. We'll just find out. I'll save the potential logjam for the Tascam. That's Tascam country there. Log task jam. Okay. So in the chat room, kind of a bustling chat today. We got Richard in the chat saying, I'm as janky and as amateur as they come. That's where all the fun is in the discovery. Just firing in. I think that's why Bill Alexander said that a lot and encouraged people, because as a teacher, he just said, you have to just fire in. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. Just make it happen. Which I agree with. Okay, you guys were talking about some Soviet speaker systems. That's cool. I feel like I miss out on the chat a little bit. It's a lot of fun. You guys are my favorite. I sure love you guys. Okay, cool. I'm all caught up on the chat. Let's find out if we're gonna have a logjam or not. I'm scared. And the music is reflecting that. How cool. I love it when the music times up just right. Okay, Oodles of Noodles cassette tape prototype number 1. And now if you put it in backwards, I imagine it would log jam up really fast, but maybe it won't. I'm not sure. Ooh, the moment of serious truth here. I feel like I kind of need to shine some light on this. Let's find a good position for this light so that you guys might be able to see anything that ends up happening. That's a bit of a glare there. I might have to just hold it. I don't know, you guys. This is a big moment, I think. If I can crack the code of the Oodles of Noodles tape loop, and I might just do a whole bunch of these and make it the standard. Really, if I can get a good technique and standard for the Oodles of Noodles tape loop, I'll do it, and I'll make them every time. I'm still just thinking and wondering how I can get you guys to see this happen here. I suppose I could maybe zoom in. The Tascam's weird. It has this window that is tinted. So if I have it down, it's kind of blocking the light, and if I have it up, it's also blocking the light. And let's zoom in just a bit. Maybe I can scoot the camera over and just give you guys a really good view of this, because I want you guys to see it. I don't often move the camera, so sorry for the bumpiness, the bumpy ride. Let's go for a smooth ride on the log. Or no, it's not the log ride. Cassette. It's Oodles of Noodles. There we go. That's pretty good. Although let's maybe keep this open here. Okay, so let's make sure we got our nice Walkman modification engaged. I just released a video yesterday on how I did the normal speed Walkman slowed down speed for the Tascam 414. You want to check that out on my channel. All right, so I'm going to slow it down as slow as I can with the pitch control up here, and maybe I'll zoom you in even more, because, you know, that's the cool thing about VHS cameras. It's optical zoom, none of this digital stuff. Although I'm sure it's running something digital inside there. Okay, how's that view? Do we like that? I guess, let's say it. Let's do it. Let's listen for the splice. I'll turn some levels up here, and hopefully... Oof. Any last words? Yeah, we got Gonzin in the chat saying the tension is building. Okay, let's fire in. Let's fire in. I got it as slow as it'll go. That might be a nice thing to do. Here we go. I'm about to press play. Let's see. Here it goes. It's going. It's working. It's going. I'm trying to listen for the splice. I can't hear it, although I won't hear it for a while, I think. Guys, it's working. Can you see it? Ah! Oh my gosh, the excitement is also building. There's the splice. I just heard it. Oh boy. It's working. It is indeed working. Oh, but for how long? How long is it? Should I speed it up? Oh gosh. I'm over the moon, you guys. Was that the splice? See, the faster you run it, the more it just pulls. Can you... Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, yes, we got Kiara in the chat room making hearts. Everyone make hearts. It's working. How did I do it? How did I do it? Now that was a healthy splice indeed right there. I heard that. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I was gonna... Wow, it's just working. It's running like magic. And we got Draco in the chat. Welcome back, Draco, my friend. So, I'm over the moon. It's just oodles of noodlesing in there, and I don't want to speak too soon, but because there's some things moving around in there, but it's the splicing tape. Ooh, the splicing tape is getting caught on that, on this part right here. I noticed it. It kind of pulled it down. So I don't know what to say, you guys. I wish I could give science credit for that, but I will have to give credit 100% to my intuition and to Gonzin and to Draco, because we've been talking about this for weeks in the community Discord chat. It's working. And there's the happy splice. Oh my gosh! Yes! Yes! That is success. Ah! Let's check out the chat room once again. We got Draco asking how long is the loop. It's as long as it is, my friend. I had it longer and then I cut because I had a 1 Mobius, 2 Mobius going on. So I cut it. And you know, I don't care that much about BPM or speed because I'm always changing the the pitch control on it anyway. It's still running. I think it could potentially run indefinitely. So we got to think about what we're going to record. We got to think about what we're going to record on this Oodles of Noodles tape loop. I had the backup tape loop right here, and I would like to keep it a backup tape loop. It is tape 10 after all. Tape 10, that'll be one of my challenges. Keep tape 10 a virgin. Wow. Ooh, it feels so good to succeed in life. We got Master Tiger in the chat saying he just got it to work on the first try. I know that this happened, and I joke about it a lot, but when I first started my show, Tape Tuesday, I was making the tape loops, just firing them out, boom, 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 for like 4 or 5 episodes. No problem. Very nice and smooth. And then after one of those episodes, I had so much trouble, and it was like this shakiness ghost had infected my workstation or something, and I could not get the tape loops to work at all. So, in the interest of not being too cocky over here, I might say that it's beginner's luck. But I will take it. I will take it. I'm so happy. Just look at that. Let's look at it a little bit more. That is a thing of beauty. And I know that you like beauty too. No. The splice is getting more and more hefty every time. I wonder if this part is pushing all the way up to the top. So as it's feeding in, the splicing tape, well, it just went through there. Wait. Huh. Okay. Maybe we should time this out. I don't know if I really care. I think that I usually just look for that splice, that blue tape coming through, and that's when I kind of start recording and end recording. So it's coming through right about now, I think. Well, no, there it is. Okay. Splice. Boom. You heard that click, I think. It's time to pull out a synthesizer that has a long, I don't know, which I've never had this much tape loop to record onto. And here's the splice again. So let's start. Maybe I should do a little timer here. I feel like that might be the thing to do for Draco. He was asking how long it is. Now we're on the slowest my Tascam will go with the modification. Let's pull out a little proper timer here. There's the splice right there. Okay. There's this. It's cool watching like one chunk of tape just sit stationary until it's called upon, and then whoop, it comes. There it goes. Okay, and now here's the splice. Boom. So that went from what was that? It was I had a weird timer. It was a 30-minute timer, so it started at 29:38. So it's about the 20 seconds of tape there, if I'm correct. And we can push it as long as we think we want to with the Oodles of Noodles, although I think there might be some kind of a sweet spot with the amount of tape. I'm kind of glad that I took off. It seemed like I took off about 10 inches or so of that tape, and it all has a nice. It's all playing friendly in there, and there's enough room to go around, and there's also enough tape to go around. So, with that, let's pull out some kind of synth here. I really want to. I just wish I could sync up tape loops better to BPM, It'd be really cool to just throw down a full-on 303 acid bass line just for a long time and then have it actually sync up on the correct downbeat. That would be cool. But we're going to have to go for some kind of a synth patch that has some long sustain on it. So I got something a little bit new here today, and I'm going to teach you how to add a modification to this on a future video. But Yeah, I'm happy about that. Wow, I really didn't expect to be actually recording on the Oodles of Noodles tape loop. So, cheers to me, I did a good job. And now this is part of my, I need to have an episode or something called Casio Craziness, because I just have fallen in love with these baby Casios. This is the Casio SA7 tone bank. It's got 100 tones. And it's smaller than you even think. Look at the actual synth part of it is just in there, and then this whole thing is just like a panel that hangs off. This one is made in Korea, which is it's kind of cool. You can feel it has a bit of a different vibe here, like with the battery cover is a little bit strange. But I think there are some sustaining patches on this. This is one that I got. I added the output modification here. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that on a future video. Whoa. There we go. So it's just a little mono jack, but it's a switched jack, so it disengages the connection to the speaker, and it then puts it out the jack here. So I got to get a cable for that. And wow. I'm very happy, you guys, that... Here, the next question will be... Well, no, because it does push the erase head up on the Tascam. Some of them don't do it. They have like a permanent magnet that hangs down to the side, and only when you hit record will it engage the permanent erase head magnet. Yeah, I just was thinking about the more potential failure points. I'm just trying to grab one of these wires out here. I got a whole collection, as you guys may have seen in previous episodes. I got cable corner ready to go. All right. So yeah, that's fantastic. We got an Oodles of Noodles tape loop here. If you're just joining us, this is my first attempt, and it looks like I got it running, and I'm still shocked. So I'm not gonna run it more than I need to. You know, it's kind of like, well, how'd they do it when they landed on the moon or whatever? I think they first just orbited it, and then they came back, and then I don't know. That's how I would do it anyway. If I was gonna land on the moon, I would orbit it first, come back to Earth, share the data, and then on the next one, land for 10 minutes, get back on the ship, get back to Earth. And then you just keep adding more and more time as you can. All right, first attempt. We got Kiara in the chat saying first attempt. It's even in the description. It is the description. I felt like obligated to say that. Yeah, okay. We're even. What are you guys saying? Are you guys making bets or something? Yeah, we got Freaker in the chat saying, shucks. I got a couple of mini Casios. One has the ROM cartridge slot. Yeah, what is that? The Casio, the 82. What is it? The CT82? Oh man, I get lost in some of these names, but I don't have a ROM slot one, although I think that the ROMs just were demo tunes. The Casio was super big on the demo tunes. It's silly, you know, like the button here for demo is highlighted. It's like, yeah, you don't know how to play. Okay, so let me show you one last time the Oodles of Noodles here, because we're gonna zoom back out. I gotta move the camera to a more friendly position for recording. That's the Oodles of Noodles. We did it. Hope you guys feel nice and included. I always like to say we instead of me, because it takes a team to make the dream. Teamwork in your dream work, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's get our pans, man. And I can't remember what we did on this last. I did that modification video. Okay, the tension is building again. I know, Gonzan. So let's set track 1 for mic line. We'll arm it. We are plugged in. I got the SA ready to go here. So let's find a patch. Let's get some good levels. This does have a bit of a weird sound when you But I think the trick might be to make the synth as loud as it'll go, because there's a high pitch, like a weird digital high pitch sound on this, and you can kill it in Ableton with some EQ on the high end, but I've also seen somebody just kill it with recording it to cassette tape. They recorded it to micro cassette tape, which is basically kind of does the same thing, or you lose some high end, or there's so much tape hiss that you don't care anyway. Let's let's go for patch 82 here. Oh, the classic Taco Bell DX7 style sound. There are a lot of tones here. I'd like to maybe do a video on this at some point, but for today, I'm just gonna try to find one that sustains. I mean, unless I decide to get a little bit like crazy with it like that, but let's check our level here really quick. That's pretty healthy. It might be coming in very loud actually, because the level right here is almost on the floor. I don't know. I want to add more of this preamp level. And I can't tell you what is doing the echo on that. It might be the synth itself, because I don't have my echo plugged in today, but I might do that later. Okay. It's definitely an echo on here, right? Yeah, okay. So let's see. There are some. Here's one called Cosmic Sound. At 75, I have a feeling it's not going to be too awesome. But well, it's alien. Bit of an alien sound. I don't like that one very much. Here's Cosmic Dance. I wanna dance. I wanna. 'Cause you was knowing I was going to dance. 66. Patch 66. Amazing, I love that. It's not what we're going for though. We're looking for maybe some kind of a string patch. Here's a sitar. There's synth brass, sitar, I don't know. Let's try sitar. That's patch number 45. Serious Casio vibes there. That's Super Casio Deluxe even. Doesn't have a long enough sustain though. I mean, you know, I like to just kind of let it sustain. I gotta find something that's more of like a strings. Here's cello, 34. Let's try that. It's a lot of tones to try. Not convinced on that one either. This could take longer than the Oodles of Noodles tape loop. Violin, warm strings. Let's go for maybe more of a synth thing. There's a synth brass, synth reed, synth lead, synth strings, number 57. Let's try a little bit of a 57 Chevy, maybe I can remember. That'll be cool. I'm gonna have to play it though, because the sustain. It actually does sustain, so that would be nice. So with this long of a tape loop, I don't even know what to do. You know, usually I try to land it on the BPM of the smaller tape loop, but in this case, I have the freedom to play around, and that's something I'm not really used to. So let's see. Clip in. I have 20 seconds of Oodles of Noodles tape to mess around with. I might just try to do like some octavey, some lazy stuff, you know? And I think this only has 2 voice polyphony. Or else I could just hold a nice chord. We got Richard in the chat saying, I like your photonic rendering of the Casio Cosmic Sound. That's silly business, man. And then we got Gonzan saying, you got a few Casios, huh? Yeah, indeed. I have more Casios than anything else now. I went a little crazy. It was either buy one expensive piece of gear or buy many baby Casios. I got one right here. This is, I think, the realistic version. That's the PT one. I freaking love the form factor of this. And I want to do one where I take this and just turn it into a microphone, you know, like the Joker. Miss me, everybody in the galaxy. And it would be even cool to use the onboard speaker as the diaphragm for the microphone. I'm sure it would just sound like absolute trash, but that might be a thing. Might be a cool thing. And I have another baby Casio there, and I have another baby Casio there, and I got another I got a couple of sampler Casios. But let's see if I can maybe just... I'm going to have to just do something super easy that's maybe just playing black keys. I don't know. Be lazy with it. Let's check the level once again on the Tascam, and we're going to record onto Oodles of Noodles. If we like this patch, I think... 20 seconds. I just don't know how I would time that up. Maybe I'll just have to look for the splice and then kind of end it when it happens. So let's play this and get the... I want to get the splice... Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Oh, I almost missed the splice. Okay, so I'm going to fire right in and record. We got the electromagnet covered up. I'm going to fire right in and record and then just do some like octavey stuff until I see that splice once again, my friends, and hopefully it sounds great. Yeah, sorry guys. I know Kiara is talking about the suspense. Let's fire in. We're doing it now. We're doing it now, and I know you can't see the synth, but it's just right here. I'll give you a corner of it. Yeah, it's space, you know. Okay, let's fire in. Here we go. I think that was the splice. I heard it. I'm still in disbelief, you guys. That's probably why there's so much suspense. I don't even know what to do with the fact that I made a Oodles of Noodles tape loop on my first try. And it seems to be working. Let's hear what we got. I hope it sounds cool. There it is. That's the Casio on Oodles of Noodles tape. It's getting... It does have some warble, which I like. It's not too much. The real question is I think that was the splice. So massive success. Massive success. I'm so freaking happy about that. Wow. Okay, cool. We just made history. At least Electric Archaic history. I'm going to set up for channel 2 here. And it's cool because I can actually jam with my tape loop now, whereas the other one's just drone on and drone on. And we got my Master Tiger. Master Tiger is projecting positive waves. Thank you so much, Master Tiger. I love that. And the Ease background music is jamming with my tape loop. The dolphins. Oh, the dolphins. Wow. Saying your prayers to the gods of the analog freakiness, it works. Trust me. I don't know. I do that before every episode. They're out there somewhere. They gotta be, right? Come on. Okay, I need a new synth patch. There's computer sound, which I also know sounds like a bit rubbish. So we won't waste our time with that. There's Mandalorian. No, wait, that's mandolin. We need more mandolin. Let's try the mandolin one. It's 46. It's tough doing a lead on tape loop because it's not actually a lead. It's a loop. You will hear it over and over again. So what do I do? That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of tape to loop. Okay, synth lead. Let's try that. That's 56. Oh, were we on that already? Tuba. Number 13. Yes, we're doing tuba. That is a sexy sound. I like that. Okay. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of that. All right, so I'm gonna let the tape loop kind of turn itself around here, and then I'll fire in on track 2. I think I'm all ready for that, and the level's a bit hot as it can be. Maybe a bit too hot. Okay. Here we go. Let's fire in. Track 2. I'm flubbing. And I probably went way over on the sound there, but it's because I kind of messed up the beginning. So sometimes you can just ride over it. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, it's a lot of tape to just all of a sudden have to deal with. That's great. How freaking cool. Oodles of Noodles! We got Freaker in the chat saying, I feel like I'm in the future. I feel like I'm in a future orchestra with that tuba. It's so great how the past just really sounds more like the future than the future actually sounds. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, it's kind of just a jam, tape loop. All right, so, and I can pull out some more synths and stuff, but it is nice to just get her done, as we like to say around here. That is so cool, you guys. I'm so happy. And it keeps looping too. It keeps working. Wow, the working man's Oodles of Noodles tape loop. Yeah, that's right. It only goes this high. Let's find another patch. There's so many sounds on here. We gotta find. Here's one called Insect. Let's show you that. Oh gosh, I'm sorry about that. That was a bit too much. Fantasy. Is that like the old PT1 Fantasy? You might have to do a sound comparison. I always play better when I'm practicing before the take, and then the take comes in like, you are recording this to tape. It's kind of I don't know if I like that sound that much. Let's find something different. How about synth reed? Maybe that's 55. Let's try that. A bit too dry. Banjo, ukulele, snare bass. And we're having a bit of a conflict with the background music I can hear. Warm Springs. Oh no, it's Warm Strings. That was reminding me of olden days. That's kind of like Fantasy, but less, with less modulation. I'm gonna have to change up the background music here because it's a key era to align and attune the keys of the music you're doing. Okay. Hopefully that plays friendly with what we're doing here. It sounds like Total Recall. That's one of the reasons why that's my favorite movie, because the synth work in that movie is so freaking cheesy. I don't know if they were using a Kawai. There's some of these early digital synths that they used in the 90s and late 80s are just amazing. We got Kiara in the chat saying lukewarm springs. Okay. I'm so happy and impressed with the Oodles of Noodles. There's a high-pitched kind of squeal going. That's from the background music. I was like, whoa. Sometimes these machines get a little squeaky. Okay, let's try to finish up this tape loop. This is nuts. I just am still in shock that this is even working. Yeah, I think I'll just keep playing around with the leads and stuff on this tape loop. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. And we got a healthy level on the Tascam. Let's fire in. Boom. Here we go. Just a total mess of Casio leads and stuff. I gotta plan out my tape loops better. I'm going from, it's like when they made the jump from 256 megabytes to like a gigabyte overnight. A gigabyte overnight. A gigabyte overnight. I'll take 10 gigabytes. 10? It's either 16 or 24. Okay, so I imagine it'll be kind of... It's a bit harsh. It can happen. I don't know. What I really ought to do is put this into the Sony 3-head tape recorder and use it as an actual Roland, a super dodgy Roland Space Echo. But the plan is to make more of these, since I clearly can do it. That's great. Okay, let's keep the bass track and set up for track 4. And maybe I can find a nice pad patch. What is this? Ocarina? Let's see what that means. Ocarina? It's Devere's birthday. Every day. For you Oxfordians out there. I love that jam. Let me hear it again. Okay. Maybe I'll copy what we're doing on that track a little bit. Yeah, I'll do something like that for the last track. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear that high-pitched sound that's coming through, but I do think we lose it. Yeah, you can't hear it on the taped tracks, but you can hear it on the through there. Yeah, that's a very high-pitched kind of weird thing. Gosh, I'm terrible on tape. Oh, this is horrible. I'm gonna have to re-record this or just sound on sound it. Let's get into the mood. I am recording this track, by the way. Okay, let's see here. should definitely be enough sound for that track. I hope it sounds okay. I've noticed that the sound on sound does generally overpower what was on the tape before it, but it can get a bit distorty, noisy and stuff. That's not bad. Okay. That's our tape loop for this week, my friends. Let's plug in some echo here, some delay, see if we can make some soundscape vibes with it. Very nice. The timing is just totally all over the place. I'll have to work on that. Apparently my tape loop making skills are at full power today, but my composition skills to tape are a little bit questionable. Oh man, it's like a jam tape. I kind of just do playing the tracks, you know. Let's make sure to slather everything in reverb and echo. That's that harsh bit there. You will definitely hear this tape loop in the next Ease show, so give me a like and subscribe. Don't miss that. We got Gonzin in the chat saying, a bit of a medieval vibe. Yeah, I don't have definitive proof on some of my past lives, but I do feel like I was there. I was there. I feel it. I just feel it deep in my soul. I was the guy playing the lute, playing the lyre. That's great. That is. I'm so happy about that. I am just ridiculously happy about that. I've been your resident synth bard for the day. I sure love you all, and I love this planet. And I know that you love this planet too. You gotta love your mother, and your father too. You gotta love everybody in the happy galaxy. Yeah. I'll turn this into medieval music, and then some kind of a rock and roll banger. This is a cool tape loop. It's really cool, you guys. I'm just playing it, you know. That part is a bit harsh, so I apologize for that. But you know, I can only conjure up so much perfection in one day. That's great, and we are playing it as slow as we can. I don't really want to push the Oodles of Noodles tape loop, but you always have a little bit of pitch control. We'll do this one for Kiara. I know she likes a little bit of wobbliness. Now that's just straight freakiness. I don't know. It helps. The wobble, I feel like the tape warble that we usually like and hear is dropping down in pitch. And since I'm already on the floor, I can't do that. So I'm going up is freaky territory, and going down is like vintage. Maybe let's push it. I don't know. Should we push it? Push it. Let's engage Tascam speed. Oh boy. We're going a lot faster. We're going 2 times faster. I'm scared, guys, actually. I don't want to do that. That's scary. It was working. I'm not going to push it. I'd like to keep my first Oodles of Noodles tape loop functional. At least until the next Ease episode. All right, so, well, I guess that's it. That's it for today. Maybe I'll catch up on the chat room, but let's see if we can. Let's see. That's cool. That sounds that's kind of wild. It sounds like a city. Kind of reminds me of Burning Man, where you have like 20 different stages going on and you can hear all of them at the same time, and it's not annoying enough that it's just 2 stages train wrecking. It's so much noise that you switch into that higher level where you're just kind of taking it all in. Just, whew. That's cool. I still want to give a little bit of that warble for Kiara. Not the best loop for... Oh, wow. I feel really, really happy that I got that to work. I was almost certain it was not going to work, and I'm looking at it, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. We got Glenn in the chat. Welcome, Glenn. Not sure what you guys all are talking about here, but Glenn is saying something I think is kind of cool. Glenn is saying, indeed, nature will make it as humans fade out. I hope we don't fade out, but let me finish what you're saying. Nature will make it as humans fade out, but I'm holding hope that we've not taken it past the tipping point. I don't think so. I think that we have to reach certain points, but I won't get too much into that sort of thing. We can go there, but maybe not today. I think the trick is to do your part and do it for the love. We're sorting this out. We are sorting it out. I think music is one of the most healing things that we can do. That's why I'm out here creating with you. Yeah, no, I think we're going to be okay. That's the timeline I'm targeting anyway. I think there are numerous timelines out there, and there are a lot of us in the chat room here today that we see the bullseye. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We got Master Tiger, of course, asking, why not today? Well, I don't know, I don't know how deep we need to get into certain things. It's just a tape. It's just a tape show, Tiger. I don't know. Will that make my numbers go up? No. See, that's the problem. It's always just been about numbers, and that's why nature is not too happy with the whole numbers game. Yeah, feel into the nature, feel into the love. I think the big thing is just feel into your heart. There's a lot of stuff going on in our bodies that we can work out, and as you work that out, your signal becomes brighter and more clear. It's kind of like recording to tape. You want to have a nice clear level so that people can hear the vibes. Yeah, we got Richard saying that tune has got more discordant with the change to Doomsday Talk. Yeah, that's the Ease show. Halloween is coming. There we go. It always gets darker before the dawn. Yeah. Anyways, we can talk about anything you guys would like to talk about, but I think I am done talking for today, and I just wanted you guys to enjoy one last look at these noodles that are oodling in there. Can you see it? Where's that light? Yeah. We're gonna make it, you guys. But we do have to make it. You know, that's the thing. We're the ones. That's why I used to say, to close out all my shows, remember, you are the one, and together we're the ones, and we can make a better today. What can you do right now to make a better today? Think about that and do it. Once again, I love you all. I love this planet. This is the one. This planet is the one. I can't stress that enough. Anyways. Yeah, let's see. We got a couple of new people in the chat. Maybe you want to get, maybe we can talk about, we can keep chit-chatting, talking in the group Discord. Let me generate a new invite link to that since you guys have been really cool today. Let's see. Come join us in the group Discord. That's where a lot of this weird research happens. We're all trying to help each other out, make better music and better tape loops, of course. Let me get an invite link. Let's copy this link and I will post it in the live chat. It'll be valid for 7 days, I think. Yeah, here we go. Come on, friends. Join us in the Discord chat. Let's make some accord in the Discord. Yeah, that's one of the reasons, Tiger, why I don't like to go there, because sometimes, you know, things, they can suck you in. I think that's one of the main tricks here of this day and age, is to not get sucked in like the Oodles of Noodles tape loop. You gotta have the right guides in place. You want the loop to run for a long time. You don't want to have a log jam inside of your Oodles of Noodles tape loop, or in your brain, or in your heart. You got to keep it light and bright if you can. We're beacons. That's the main thing. It's like we got to do everything we can where we are to just be based in love. I don't know. You can see my brain. I got oodles and noodles in there. I've thought about this stuff quite a lot, as I'm sure you guys might imagine. We got Gonz in the chat saying, no log jams, not today. Let's make this tape, this tiny tape, a symbol. No log jams. Come on, we can do it. We can do the impossible. We do it every day. That is a thing of beauty, really. That makes me really happy. That is gorgeous. Okay, so, yeah, this will be the first time I've said my outro 3 times, but it's so fun. I don't know, maybe we should just do chat after party. We do chat after party in the group Discord. If I really want to be one of those guys, I'll just butter everything over and say, it's the chat accord. It's a chat accord. But no, you know, I'm all about facing the shadow, facing the darkness. That's why my studio is in space here. No, but the space allows, you know, the darkness allows for the light. So everything with balance, really. Cool. Once again, what you're hearing in the background is Ease, episode 4. That's the effects only track there. But, you know, check out my Ease shows. I should have a link in the description for that. Let's see. Yeah, let's do some chat after party, if you guys don't mind. I think that might be fun for me because I always miss out on the chat because I'm doing strangeness. But, wow, yeah, that Oodles of Noodles tape loop just made my whole week. So we got Glenn in the chat saying, I've been working as an energy healer, musician, and artist for over 40 years. There have been a lot of ups and downs. This is sounding good, by the way. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you, man. I think there are a lot of us out here that want the best for each other and for this planet. And it's time for us to form Voltron and flood the planet with our beautiful light and love. We'd do it for the love. I mean, it really could just be that the keys are inside of us and we've been, just like, oh, I gotta hold on to this key. I gotta keep this torch lit inside of me. When really it's time to activate, make it happen. Yeah. You guys are talking about UV paint. That's something I need to get into too. But there's this cool thing here on this camera. And that was the same place that it dropped out on the Ableton earlier. So it looks like I need a new computer. These cameras have a negative effect. Whoa. Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's not UV paint, but it is something. We got Claire in the chat saying, Glenn, also an energy worker over here. Hey, we got our little clan, man. We got a little group of Tape Tuesday energy workers. Let's move the energy through like a tape. I can make metaphors all day. So I've had this idea to do like a bit of a series on my channel. I haven't exactly fired into it yet, but I was tempted to call it the Thursday Think, and that'd be where I would unleash a little bit more of these kind of thought-provoking ideas and, I guess general encouragement for humanity, for the spirit of humanity. And like Gonzin says in the chat, that's freaky. The first one I wanted to do is something about like lean into the freakiness, and I'd probably have to pull out the freaky teddy just to make sure we have a healthy dose of it. But I'm not sure if that's something that my channel would benefit from. I'm not sure if I care. My channel is a little bit, it's kind of small right now, but I would like to grow it, of course. I'd like to get messages of positivity and love out there through my music as much as I can. Of course. I've literally been working on this for pretty much my entire life. It's the truth. So, what do you think of that? Yeah, the Thursday Think. I don't know, the music can only go so far. Sometimes you actually have to talk about stuff. But, yes, we'll see. We'll just see. Oh, yeah. Right on, my friends. I always get to this point where it's time to go, and I don't want to let you go. I'm gonna have to come up with an after party. I know I call my Discord chat room the after party, but I might have to do like a Tape Tuesday after party show. It might be kind of cool. We got a wild wobblerizer appeared in the community Discord. We got Wobble. Who's Wobble? Who are ya? It's funny when you get this cross-platform stuff going on. You got a username on YouTube and then a totally different username in the group Discord Accord chat. We got Kiara in the chat saying, the more we connect, the more positive we feel, and the healthier we will also be. Yeah, I think the universe is just a network of connections. Things happening over here, things happening over here, and then they connect, and whoosh, It grows the oneness. It's the expansiveness. Anything you can do on your end to support the spirit of humanity, that's the goal, my friends. And you're very well equipped to do it, being a human, I imagine. I'm talking to humans here. We're talking humans here. We got the Wobblerizer in the group Discord. Who are you? Which one are you? We got some new people today. That makes me feel good. Give me a like and subscribe. I told you, and I'll tell you once again until it happens. As soon as we hit 500 subscribers on my channel, boom, it's tape week. I'm stopping everything. As soon as I get the notification, boom, I'm going live for tape week. And we'll do some kind of a tape Tuesday, some sort of tape craziness, tape madness every day for an entire week. That's 500 subscribers. We're almost there. We're getting close. We got Kiara in the chat saying, keep sprouting freshness. Yeah, we got to keep it clean. Clean the machine. Clean up your vibe. Clean up your... I'm like your cassette tape parent over here. Make your bed. Clean up your room. Clean up your vibe. Clean up your act. It's a demand from the man. All right. Well, I don't know. I might be out of words here, but I still love you guys, and I will always love this planet. And I'll probably always love you guys too. And I know that you also love yourself too. Love yourself. It's planet Earth, baby. Okay, so I got to get things moving here, but I like seeing you guys all chatting around. You got the invite up there in the chat. Just look for it. It will be up for a week or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm just so happy that we got Oodles of Noodles tape loop. Can you believe it? I'm not sure if I deserve... I don't know what I deserve for that, but I feel like a celebration is in order, and we did celebrate. We were celebrating. I'll just give you the last little view of that. That's so cool. That is very cool. I wish I could see a little better. I'm going to have to work on the lighting, and I always say that, but maybe this week I can actually work on the lighting. We'll see. Depends on if I decide to go on a road trip or not. I'll be back for Monosynth Monday, and I hope you will be back for Monosynth Monday too. That's right. We got Monosynth Monday next week. That's dedicated to the TB303 bassline acid synthesizer. We're gonna make some serious noise on Monday. All right, guys. Let's cue the outro. Oh. Thanks for joining me on Tape Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you around. And all was well in the Tapeland universe. Kisses and love. Catch you on the next show.